joining us for the first time, we're Twin Humanities and we do podcasts and stuff. Hello.
Sup?
If you're coming back after listening to us before, and I thank you. Hello.
Sup?
Wow, you really do bring it to the
I'm
party.
bringing my A game tonight.
Anyway, shut up. Dark Souls 3's out.
Innit?
People
It's alright, innit?
People have been very excited. I asked how excited they are, and do you know what they told me?
Go for it.
They told me words.
Oh,
I also
right.
asked them for pictures. Those were sent to. I will be describing them.
Through the medium of radio.
Yeah, this was a few days ago as well, because I was thinking, oh yeah, I'll ask that question and then we'll do a thing, and we didn't.
Is this
we're
us
doing
doing
it
the
now.
thing?
Yeah, this is just leaping straight into it.
Awesome.
So, yeah, if you're looking for anything less than chaos in your podcast, then this might not be for you. Anyway,
So
it's not
before
the
we
best-
start, we should
What?
probably lay out like our policy on what we're going to talk about, because people are probably worried, because I would be.
Why?
Listening to a Dark Souls podcast the week the Dark Souls comes out, I'd be worried about listening to it straight away. What are we going to cover tonight, CJ? What are we going to cover?
So, we are going to be covering the opening area,
Okay.
just the opening area, and the run through to what I will lovingly term as, and this will be the name of the episode as well, Toasting Marshmallows with Ian Gundam.
What? Who?
Because Ian Gundam.
Right, we'll move on from that, because that reference has missed me.
It's me being coy and
Okay.
non-spoilery about the name of the boss.
Okay.
Which is
Oh,
something
okay.
like-
Yeah, okay.
Something like Ian Gundyr.
I thought you were talking about Gundams, like robots. I was like, I don't get it.
Yeah, there will be a picture that goes alongside this that's maybe combines a few elements, like a bonfire and marshmallows and a Gundam, maybe with some sort of knight's helmet on.
Or like
I'll
Ian Botham's face.
No.
Oh,
What?
You want it now, though, don't you?
Oh, this is the worst episode we've done, and we're trying to welcome new people in. It's not going well. So anyway, we'll do that, and we'll talk about versions that we got, and when we started, and our characters, and why we chose what we did,
Yep.
and our initial run-throughs, and the stuff that we found, and basically we'll go up to and including the battle with Ian Gundam. So yeah, that's what we're going to do sort of generally.
Good.
And
So if you
just-
haven't done that, and you don't want to hear about that, maybe go do that, and then
Yeah.
come back in a couple of hours.
Yeah, I mean, the game's out. We've obviously been
it?
a bit sensitive about spoilers because they've been everywhere. Some of us have been retweeted by Jim Sterling.
Right,
and
can I
they
just say, I've never had that many retweets before, and I didn't like it. It was nice being Hollywood, but lo and behold, once you get to the masses, oh boy, howdy, do the pricks come out.
I was taking the piss out of you, and then it was just like, and then all of a sudden you started to get some strange responses.
Yeah, some odd people. I just posted up about a place that was putting up videos of the bosses with the boss names in the title, and I think I don't want to know that yet. I'd let me find them by myself and be like, oh, the so and so of so and so. Ooh, what's this mean? Rather than, oh, I know him. You know, bit unfair. I thought I just put up a little tweet saying, don't go to. It was Polygon's YouTube page. Like, don't go there. They've got boss guides up already. It's like, leave it alone. And like 85 retweets later, with a bunch of people coming back going, avoid Polygon is what you should have said. It's not clever.
Right, because I've got a little bit of an update on this as well, because I put up something not long after when I was having my dinner and I went on YouTube, and we've had problems with spoilers or names of bosses being in sort of headings and stuff like that.
Oh, for shiz.
And GameSpot put up a thing with awesome armor sets in Dark Souls 3, and they had a thumbnail which was really spoilery.
For God's sake.
Like, really spoilery, right? So that was basically my response, like trying to warn people away from it, because there was a spoiler in the patch notes as well. Which
Yeah,
is a bit,
you said that. That's mad.
which you can click past, but if it does say, oh, this is what's included in your patch notes. But anyway, so I tweeted out about this to avoid this this video and the thumbnails and stuff, and had a chat with someone who I love very dearly about this, and as I understood it, perhaps the video team didn't quite know that the picture that they were putting up as the thumbnail was as spoilery as it was, and the video team, it looked like we're going to change it, and indeed have changed the thumbnail.
Oh.
So kudos to GameSpot for that, because
God, we are so Hollywood these days, aren't we? We can affect change.
No. You can't. This was somebody far smarter and better than us that enacted it. But Danny O'Dwyer was saying a little while ago about can you approach games in the same way as you used to when you were younger, because everything is up front and ready for you absolutely immediately. How to do this, how to do this. Who was it? I think it was something like 84Play was saying that in Japan, that with old games, you didn't used to get game guides until about 8-9 months after the game came out. So, you could play the game, you could replay the game, and then you were picking up the guide after that to maybe encourage another playthrough, see the stuff that you've missed, the stuff that had not quite kicked in with you and stuff. And
wow.
Yeah,
how the fuck did anyone beat Zelda 2 then?
I don't know.
Jeez,
really don't know. But yeah, so kudos to GameSpot for that, because that's just really, really cool.
Well done. You flubbed, but you fixed it. Well done.
Yeah. So there was also the stuff on opening day with, in fact, just before opening day as well, people kicking in spoilers on Twitter. It's like so many people were spoiler sensitive beforehand and wanting to go in dark, and then loads of those same people were kicking in stuff in Twitter about their own game. It's like some people haven't even started it yet. This in some cases this was before the game had actually come out for most people. I just think it's a bit pants.
Yeah, I've had to judiciously use the mute button today. Like, people that I thought were cool have not been cool. It's like, guys, come on. Some of those names they were dropping were loaded names as well. You're like, come on.
Yeah,
that means something. I would have liked to not known that. But I mean, stuff that I knew already, but it's like, what are they going to say later?
For some folks, it's fair game sort of after the game's come out, maybe. I know tonight there's been a few folks that have been complaining about spoilers and putting up spoilers, and I don't know. It's just time to play now, I think. But before the game had launched, it's still a little bit.
It's a bit ooky.
Yeah. So.
So this episode of Twin Humanities is brought to you by Spoiler Away.
Nah.
Lay it on thick.
Right. So to go back a bit before we were derailed and moved on. I was asking as to whether people were excited before the game had launched. And seeing which way they'd gone with which version, I guess.
Okay.
So Cliff from the Dark Insight podcast said, I pre-ordered Digital Deluxe as I've been burned on delivery in the past. Ooh. So I wanted a guaranteed game day one. As for excitement, beyond hyped to just sit down and finally get lost in a familiar yet distant world. Can't wait. Lachlan McDonald said Amazon is shipping to work regular old edition, and then put up a gif of a baby waving its hand, and the thing that they were being shown has been superimposed with Dark Souls 3. Well played, sir. Well played. Fergzilla said, physical pre-order, got the dispatch email this morning. I've been giddy with childlike excitement for over a week now.
Okay.
Dutty James Carter of the Came and Rint podcast says, I got it digitally on the 24th of March, and trust me, the hype will never die, no matter how much I do. What? Oh, I get it now.
You get it?
Okay,
because it's hard.
Yeah, I did maybe a cat. James Catter. 9 more. Let me see. Shimmy, who I believe is a new contributor to the show.
Hi, Shimmy.
Shimmy 2 is his name, and then Shimmy is his name.
What's his name then?
It's Chimmy, and then add Shimmy too. I don't know.
Me too.
Anyway, PS4 digital pre-order, so you can't take the piss out of him because he's one of your Sony ponies. PS4
Look,
digital
I might be
pre-order.
wearing PlayStation socks, but that is not an excuse.
Yeah, what's on your cushions?
PlayStation symbols. But Laura made those. I didn't buy those. I didn't give them my
Yeah.
money for those. She made them on our grey sofa, so it matches really well.
Which model did you get to build of an old game character?
I've got a Crash
Not too long ago?
Bandicoot model, and it's because
Yeah.
Laura found it on eBay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, shut up.
Yeah, and what's that massive statue in the back of your room?
Yeah. So that's on other things.
What is it?
It's
Yeah, it is now.
Snake.
What is it?
It's Snake. It's a big one.
Yeah.
Look, I've got plenty of paraphernalia in my house that is. Look, I'm looking at a Captain Falcon amiibo right now.
What, that you've sellotaped?
That I bought up on eBay. Yeah.
I
found it in a shop.
One of
and I was
those
like,
Ethan characters' heads on it.
Yeah. Look, I've got a Captain Falcon amiibo. I've got one Nintendo toy.
Okay, fair enough.
Counts.
Yeah, I've got one as well. I got Shulk.
Who?
From Xenoblade Chronicles.
Oh, the one in the pants with the holy sword.
That's the lad. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, Shimmy
Moving on. Sorry,
says
Jimmy.
PS4 digital pre-order deluxe edition. I'm taking a day off from work. That's about how much I'm hyped to play. So
Nice.
Cool. Another new person, Tigravius. That's a manly name.
Tigravius.
Unless you're a lady, in which case that's a lady name.
It sounds like a Gundam.
It's also I think it sounds quite I don't know, Roman, like. I see Viserys is fighting in the pits, and he has taken on all of the poor and the people in armor and the man with a fork. Send down Tigravius. Give him a spoon, a really big spoon.
For scooping.
End him, Tigravius.
Moving on.
Digital. Mainly because I share with a buddy. We made a deal. He gets one game, I get the other. Prefer a physical copy though, which is cool.
Ooh.
Thank you.
Saucy.
John at Kinney999 says
Kinney.
renting physical for now, and then no doubt purchasing Game of the Year edition, either disc or digital when the price drops.
Yeah. It's inevitable, isn't it? I mean,
well, if you've got one of those like Boomerang rental accounts and stuff, and you've got like a few coming each month, and there's not really that much else that you fancy, I suppose you can get a physical one and just keep it as your other game for a bit, and then
yeah.
because there will be a Game of the Year edition.
Of course there will be. Which kind of puts me in the mind what I did with Scholar. Would I buy the DLC if I know it's coming out again? But this time probably I would.
I've seen the DLC for a decent discount already.
What?
So I'll hook you up, bro.
Cool.
Yeah, in it.
In it, bruv.
Ben Naylor says getting the Steam version. Unfortunately, I was genuinely sick last Thursday, so I can't phone in sick again tomorrow. That was my emphasis. He didn't type that.
Curse this unhealthy body when I don't want it to be.
Josh Crow,
Bobby
Beard.
Hi, Josh.
Hi, Josh. Said, I pre-ordered the Apocalypse edition from Game, and it'll be here tomorrow to sit nicely in my From Software corner, which I presume is just covered in bloodstains. And I'm very proud of my collection, and by the end of the year I will have done all of the Soulsborne series. I've already got Bloodborne, Scholar, and Dark Souls under my belt. Just got Dark Souls 3 and Demon Souls to nail. 3 of the games done in just over a year. The other 2 are in my line of fire, ready to be absolutely obliterated.
Ooh.
A man of taste and decency.
Ooh. By the way, before we continue, can you hear rattling at all?
A bit.
Right, okay. To the listeners, right? So one of our chinchillas, Nero, has learned a trick where he bites the bars of the cage on the door and he rattles the fuck out of them. So if there's rattling in this episode, there he is. That's why. He's being a cunt and I can't make him stop.
I thought you were maybe having a wank in a plastic pencil case.
Yes, that's right. Yes, that's. I don't have pets. That was all a lie.
You ruined that christening.
I know, right?
Let me see. Booklord, Global Mega Dude. What?
We had loads, didn't we?
We had tons of these.
Oh.
I was going to ask a second question as well, but didn't because we had tons of these.
Pretty good. We'd be all night.
Global Mega Dude Says got the Red Knight edition coming launch date, hopefully. I had to cancel the digital pre-order. I had one due, but had an expensive boiler breakdown. It was either the second copy of Dark Souls 3 or 2 Freezing Cold Infants. Surprisingly hard choice. To which I told him, if he got them adopted now, just throw duvet over himself, buy the other version, and his house is finally free. Sione Boy.
Sione Boy.
Said Steelbook version with guide and dark sign journal. I'm a mug. To which I told him, I've bought a mug.
Is that the one that gets fire on it?
Yeah, it's it's got the big 3 on the side, and if you pour coffee into it, only coffee, obviously, it will go all flaming around the side. But I haven't used it yet. I will do.
You should use it.
Since I bought it, it might be a good idea.
Yeah, use it.
Yeah, the last few days have been a blow. The voluptuous and tempting Martin Charlton says, pre-order box. I'm excited, but less than for Blooders. Try not to overhype like Fallout 4, just to let it find me, like Metal Gear Solid 5.
Oh, okay. Okay, interesting. Have we got many more? Because I have some words on that, but
We can chime in if you want.
well, okay, so my excitement levels have been weird for this one. I know we touched on it last time, but I'm the least excited. Last week anyway, I was kind of the least excited for it, even though I'm really, really looking forward to it. And I know that's the marketing, which we've discussed at friggin' length. But do you feel that? Were you bummed out going into it? Because I was pretty bummed out in the week leading up to it.
Nah, mate. We'll go into this in a bit.
Yeah, I was just all over the place. But I was like, oh, it's coming out, yeah. But it's all on the internet already. And I'm trying to avoid everything. And yeah, I know. I've never been this bummed out for a game that I wanted to like. It improved later, obviously, but...
No bumming, no cry. No bumming, no cry. Anyway, another new communicator to the channel. Shub Hansurath. Hands of Time. Oh, I think they might have emailed us before, maybe?
Yeah,
I don't know.
They did. About something.
Yeah, last time.
It might have been anime.
Yeah, it might have been our other podcast. Oh, the Humanities.
We don't do any other podcasts.
Which doesn't do as well as this one. I saw the YouTube numbers, it doesn't. Anyway, Shub Hansurath says, they're going in digital this time. First time I'm playing a Souls game on release. Too excited. And then they're going to get the physical Game of the Year edition when it eventually sort of comes out. So, yours. Let me see. And yes, I was asked by Sione Boy as to whether it was me that bought the press kit for £800 on eBay. No, it was not.
But you did bid.
No, I don't. I haven't got that kind of money. Jesus. Let me see. The Law Hunter.
Sinewu.
Says I got the Xbox version back on the 24th, and I have 2 PS4 copies coming at me, I believe. I've sunk nearly 50 hours into it.
2 PS4 copies. Why?
Yeah. I think he was getting a review copy actually.
What?
Can you imagine such a thing?
A review copy?
Yeah, that would mean us knowing how well this podcast does.
Yeah.
The last time we tried to measure it, it broke the podcast, didn't it?
Yeah. Remember everyone when it went away for a little while when we put our episode up with Chris from Chomp Chain and it broke spectacularly?
Yeah.
That was because we were trying to track it for the first time ever and it spectacularly did not work.
No. So if you're listening to us and thinking those loons are ligging.
Although I can give you a very accurate number for that episode. It was 0 because no one could find it.
Well played again.
Thanks.
Anyway, Sean goes on to say, sunk nearly 50 hours into it already, but I'm excited as hell to finally play /chat on PS4 and enjoy some jolly cooperation.
Ooh.
Dark Blood Souls says got to retail (broken street date). Plus I took the week off from work, well played.
Oh, wait.
Shinobi of the Cosmos. Darth Shinobi.
Yo.
Says digital special something with the season pass and soundtrack, etc. Can't wait to get stuck in.
Oh.
Dutty Filthmonger Jeremy Greer.
Shaboy!
Of Jesus Christ. Of I can't remember. Dark Souls haters. That's it.
Yeah, and Dark
Yes.
Insight. Dark
Yeah,
Things.
he is
That's
now,
where he's
yeah.
from.
Yeah. It said physical collector's edition, digital deluxe. Want the collector's edition goodies, but also don't want to wait on UPS. Can't wait till tomorrow. Or a.
Is that how many A's there were? Please tell me that's accurate.
Hold on. A.
Gone Scouse.
Come Ed, let's move on. Jake Dullahan. That works in that accent as well. Apologies to people from Liverpool.
No, drive it back down. It's hurting me.
I ordered mine from the game collection for PS4, £31 with the code and store points, and it arrived on Saturday, playing non-stop.
Crazy, innit? That's when mine turned up early as well.
Game collection.
TGC.
The best place to buy games in the UK.
It would appear so.
They're not kicking us any money, but it's true.
Yeah, we just credit where it's due. Will you shut up? Not you. Yeah, you. You fuzzy shit. Carry on.
Alexander Lindell says, and this is the best Twitter name ever. It beats James Carter's old one. It's CCB 025 C9F9 C14A4.
What?
Kuba 025 K9 914A. Anyway,
What?
Special edition faux show.
For show? Well, he's going to show it. He's not going to
I don't know.
play it. Just for show.
Sean Hall, Stars Tyrant,
Tyrone.
says, I'd be more excited if Amazon had actually dispatched it today.
Ooh, because Amazon and Simply were both a bit shady with their numbers, weren't they?
I don't know about Simply, but...
Because Simply were marking things as dispatched on like Friday and didn't actually dispatch them until Monday.
I think Game do that. They say that it's dispatched when everything's just been processed. They're just waiting to chuck it in the post, but it is a bit...
Yeah, it ain't though, is it?
Literally every non-delivery I've heard of, whether it's in Blighty or across the world, has been Amazon. Let me see. Vade Van Odin said, I have ordered the Red Knight version. Super excited. It's shipped, so just waiting for it to show up.
Yeah, I think that has actually shown now. I think he put a picture up.
Yeah.
I think he got a spare one as well and went to return the other one.
No, I think he got a regular one. He took it to a game shop because he got credit at the game shop. So traded it in and then bought it back with his credit.
God, we're living the life here, aren't we?
It's the dream world.
Yeah, boy.
Let me see.
There are more.
Large Father Chump, Chris Marger.
Shaboy!
Shaboy! You see, that's when you use it. You don't use it for anybody else.
I don't know. I feel like there's a cadre that allowed it.
Oh, I don't know.
We should have done it with Josh as well.
Chris says, I'm collecting stuff I don't need, but I had to go digital on this one. I was too stressed out about not having day one after what happened to me with Dark Souls 2, showing 3 days after release date, despite Amazon's promise of day one.
That isn't day one.
A trend. Like when my day one collector's edition of Witcher 3 showed up 4 months late.
What? That's wrong.
That's harsh, man.
That's not good.
Let me see. Sonic Strife Artorius on Twitter says, PS4 digital, super excited. Me and 2 friends will continue our tradition of going through the game together completely blind.
Nice.
Which reminds me,
Yeah.
we had that little revelation that when we first played Dark Souls, I'd played the game, and you were coming to it fresh. When Dark Souls 2 came out, you got a review copy.
Yeah.
And then I started playing it afterwards. When Bloodborne came out, you buggered off and played Bloodborne, and I got into Scholar of the Sin.
Yeah.
So this really is the first game that we're properly playing at the same time.
Probably. I think I might be playing it a little faster than you at this point, but still.
Yeah, I'm complicated.
You're a difficult man. You're a difficult human.
Stoosh 237 says,
Stuccio! It's been a while.
Got the digital version early. Game is fantastic. Also getting the collector's edition too. Need that statue.
Ooh.
David McMullen says Steam Digital. I'm ridiculously excited. Wayne Guernica 2 on Twitter says digital on Xbox One with the Season Pass and the original Dark Souls. Life is good. Welcome to Twin Humanities, Mr. Wayne. Ben Robertson, waiting on his copy from Amazon. Seems familiar.
Amazon, eh?
And I think that might be it.
Cool. And that's all the people that bought Dark Souls 3 in the world.
It then veers into me asking people to show me their copies when they arrive, which is really cool. And Six Shooter on Twitter showed me his local game shop in Wakefield that won the statue that Namco Bandai promoted Dark Souls with.
Oh, I saw that.
So it's basically twice the size of a human being.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
I want it.
I think we are good now because it then veers into people showing their stuff, and that was pretty cool. I was really excited to see all that stuff, and man, the Twitter on the day. But let us go into the day itself. So yeah, I was saying about excitement. Back when I was a kid, I got very excited for Christmas. I could barely sleep. My folks would leave annuals, which for American listeners are big books of comic stuff available in the UK at Christmas.
Yes.
They'd leave annuals at the end of my bed when I woke up early so I could just start reading. Undoubtedly the Lego box would start swirling and I'd start making stuff, impatiently waiting for the point I was allowed to run downstairs and tear stuff open. Your ginger and I were like,
swear to God.
He's playing jazz drums to my mouthful.
This is not lovely indie film Birdman. Stop playing drums. Yeah? Do you know, hang on, I'm going to grab the spray bottle. I'm going to pop my earphone out for a second. I'm sorry, listeners. I'm sorry he's so noisy tonight. I'm going to get my spray bottle. I'm going to spray him whenever he does that. Right, 1 second.
Don't!
Stop it. Please continue.
I saw a documentary about this. They turn into these green monsters overnight and they start to overrun the town.
It's only if you feed them.
Is that right?
I'll take the food out. It's fine.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was me at Christmas. And yet I have this cousin Paul who would sleep in until midday on Xmas Day. You can see where I'm going with this. He'd sleep in.
When you were young, how would you do that? I could never do it. He'd
sleep in until midday on Christmas Day. His folks would have to wake him up for him to leisurely come downstairs and open his presents. So on Solsmas Day, April 12th, I was up at 4 a.m.
You madman.
I was excited.
I
was asking all of those questions, eager to hear bounce and feel electric and that crackle of eagerness and people then going, I must play this game, and then remembering that it's modern day consoles and you've probably got to wait for it to install and maybe make a bacon butty.
Go play with some Lego for a bit.
Oh yeah, put the kettle on.
Yeah.
So what time did you get up, Patrick? Or should I say Paul?
Well, hey? I got up at shut up. At about 10:30.
Nah, it was later than that.
It was late because
later than that.
Full disclosure on Solsmas Day is that I kind of already had my present a few days early. Thank you, Game Collection. So I had it and I wasn't And to be honest, it's been a long week, so I kind of needed the sleep. So I just got up at a leisurely 10:30, 11 o'clock-ish, sort of swan downstairs, farted about for a bit. Popped it on just after lunch. In the end, I was just taking my time.
I like how you were leveraging yourself above me. It's harsh. I really needed the sleep, and I'm now sitting here thinking Friday I had my back carved out.
Well, obviously,
super painkillers. Yeah,
but I needed a catch up. I haven't had a line in about 3 weeks, so I needed one.
But going back to what you were saying, you were stung by the Namco promotion, whereas I was bemused by it, but it didn't lessen my excitement for the game.
It just soured me a little bit. Especially the whole like 3 weeks early, letting people stream half the game. It's like, no, piss off. Don't do that. Don't put that out there. We've covered this at length already. The marketing campaign was stupid.
So, your Soulsmas started on Saturday.
Yeah.
Which version did you get? When did you get it?
Okay, I got the PS4 edition, obviously. And it turned up in the post while I was at work, and I came home, and typically we were entertaining that night as well.
That's harsh.
Good pal Sean was coming round.
Because you were tweeting me and just going like, I hope it's there on the map when I get home, but also I can't really play it.
No. So what I did is I put it in and I kind of pre-installed it. I just kind of put it in the thing when I got home and just left it to install for a few minutes. So it was ready later. And turns out it was like 2 seconds. It was quick. And then, my friend Sean came round and we had a lovely burger dinner of burgers and chips. And we played some board games, which Sean's Mrs. Elaine won all of somehow.
Oh, right.
I know, cow.
Bias.
She won all the board games. So yeah, my first day was Souls 3. I think I'm pretty sure once they'd gone, I loaded it up and I spent about an hour and then I went to bed. I think I just did like the character creator and not a hell of a lot else, and then I went to bed. Because I was tired. To be fair, I was kind of tired. I was like, I'll do this properly tomorrow, and I did get up. Fucking shut up! I got up a bit later on, a bit early on Sunday as well, to squeeze an extra half an hour in the morning, which was good.
This really is starting to sound like a shit English version of that film Whiplash, with you as J. Jonah Jameson, and your Chintilla as a boy with a drum set.
There we go. I've got it on the white. I've got it on the water pistol mode now. It's going to get him. We've got a spray bottle and it's got like a mist setting, which is what I was using. I've twisted it a bit, and now it's like a jet. And now he's looking pissed off. So I think I've done it.
I'm sorry, anyone from PETA.
It's like having a third man in it, and the third man's a prick.
That sounds like the title of a porno. Anyway, I got.
So what about you? When did you get yours?
I got my standard version on Saturday on Xbox One, which was a present from you. Which is lovely.
You're welcome.
I believe you called me Broken Bro because I am bruised and stitched and after operation.
Yes, you are broken, bro. And thus you need an infusion of blood or souls. I don't know. Whatever's most valuable in this game.
All of those things.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean the game stole me away from a lot of discomfort and blurg in a big way. So thank you very much for that. The night previous, just after the op, was very painful. So I can't thank you enough, genuinely. So,
thumbs up through the internet.
Mwah.
Yeah. Oh, no thumbs.
So, and the Xbox One version comes with a free Dark Souls download code, which they put in pretty late on, I think.
Yeah?
Like, they included it in all of the Xbox One versions now. Because there were rumours that it was going to be in just certain retailers' versions. But yeah, I just think it's a really, really great way to do it. And also, celebrating backwards compatibility like that's pretty cool. Yeah, because it was a sweetener if you digitally pre-ordered it first, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and so and it's on the front of the box as well that it says that it comes with free Dark Souls. So I just think that's really neat.
Nice bonus.
So, yeah. So I had the PS4 version special edition on order, which Amazon had down for delivery on launch day until 4 p.m. when they changed their minds and said it would be today.
Dicks.
Like I say, every non-delivery I've heard across the world is Amazon's fault. Anyway, the special edition includes a Red Knight statue, which is lovely. Looks really gorgeous next to the Fram Knight as well. I don't know if it's the same sculptor, but they're around about the same size. So
I don't know why, but I wasn't tempted by that this time.
It's
I kind of wanted it, but I didn't.
It didn't look great in the pre-order pics, and even the Swedish unboxing which sounds very wrong. Which I put up a few days before release. It didn't look great, but it does in the real. It looks really good.
Oh, good.
So it also included the Apocalypse Edition Steelbook, which is this deep sort of metallic grey-blue box with what looks like a charcoal etching of the Red Knight on the back.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Which is lovely. And the soundtrack's in there too. There are patches, which is almost a Dark Souls joke. There's a cloth map, but I've not looked at either of those yet. There's a big hardcover art book encompassing all 3 games.
Right.
I've had a wonder, apart from the Dark Souls 3 stuff, because I was wary that there might be a few spoilers in there.
Yeah, of course.
It looks great, but I do miss the commentary and extra detail that comes with the design work stuff, because those are a wee bit special.
Give it a year.
But yeah, it's nice. But also, the lovely George Morgan bought the £300 Prestige Edition, which arrived in a box he could sit in.
What?
He posted pictures. It's very lovely. But yeah, it's colossal, and it comes with that hand painted
giant man,
4 foot statue. Yeah, of which the arms are actually magnetic. They kind of click in. Clunk. Yeah, the thing's huge. It's really, really nice.
Oh God, now
obviously, but that's it sold out in like 40 minutes, I think.
Of course it did.
But it is colossal. So yeah,
further proving that us gamers will pay any money for things.
It is really nice though.
It's true, but still.
Yeah, I just wish, because they're all hand painted and stuff. I'm wondering if they were if they were a bit regular production, if they might have been more of them and a bit cheaper. Dunno, but it does look lovely. So what do I know? Shut up, poor man. Your character. Describe your man's or woman's that you created on your PlayStation 4 console.
Okay. On my mans that I made initially, well, I mean, Josh Crow has kind of pointed out that my guy looks a bit like Scott Weiland. And now I can't not see him like a ginger Scott Weiland. Thanks, Josh. You've kind of ruined him a bit.
Stone Temple Paddy.
Yes, the one. So I wanted to make something, because I kind of, you know when you want to make something stupid, but I always end up making it look a little bit like me first. No jokes. Thank you, sir.
I try not to judge.
Hold it back. I messed around with the sliders a little bit. I made some big noses and some flat faces, and I managed to completely get his nose stuck inside his face at one point, which was good, because the sliders are fun. They're very Monster Factory sort of sliders. You can just kind of make them so they have an inverted nose or ears bigger than the head. You know, like, you can really fuck with it. Like, it's fun. And I wiped it all out and started again a couple of times. And I ended up settling on a sort of skinny, sort of kind of like me hair, me beard. It's got one, like almost my exact rubbish beard as well, which is nice. Pasty, pale, as skinny as I could possibly be. Ripped to fuck though, because I am strong. Yeah, skinny but ripped, wiry, good tendon strength. And like, yeah, I just kind of made it look a bit like me if I could. And I've named him, as is my Twitter name at the minute, Portacali. Which is, what I did is I took the word orange and I put it in Google Translate and I went through the languages till I found one I liked.
Okay.
That is orange in Kurdish.
That's really good.
Yeah, I thought I want an interesting word. Like, I remember when I did my last Dark Souls 2 character, his name was Le Cuiverhume, which roughly translates in French, it doesn't, it's a lie, to the copper human.
Okay.
You know, because copper. I thought I'll try orange this time, and a lot of, like, in Afrikaans it was like orange, and a lot of the other sort of, you know, European countries just said orange, but then I kind of got lucky with Kurdish as Portacali. I was like, that'll do, that's a good name, and it starts with the P as well. My name starts with the P, and I'm a massive narcissist, so yeah. As far as what I went with, as far as like stuff goes, I went with the merc, the mercenary, the twin, the dual scimitar mercenary type style, with the life ring as the gift I picked, just for the sake I couldn't decide what to pick, so I thought I'd go with something that would definitely be useful, rather than something that I didn't know would be useful or not.
Why the mercenary?
Well, I had looked through the classes. I didn't really want to pick standard knight or like standard warrior, because I feel like it's a bit too easy. I know that's a stupid thing to say, but like I don't like picking the standard sword and board, even if that's what I end up using for most of the game. I don't like starting there. I like to start a bit weird. I nearly went with the pyromancer, but I kind of remembered that I didn't really get far with pyromancy in Dark Souls 2, So I thought, you know what? I'll save Pyromancy for run number 2. Let's go something.
You didn't feel very close to it as a class previously.
No, I mean, whereas in Dark Souls 1, it was the class. Pyromancer was the
Hold
one.
me closer,
Pyromancer.
Pyromancer.
Yes.
I was all leading to that joke.
That was good.
You said more words.
Thanks. But no, Dark Souls 1, Pyromancer was my guy. Like, he was the class I would pick every time without fail. And not just because of the whole one bro thing, but because Pyromancy was brilliant in Dark Souls 1. Didn't find it as useful in 2. And I kind of worried I wouldn't pick it up in 3. So it was either Pyromancer or Merc because, you know, they looked kind of cool, I guess. So I went with Merc because I like the idea of playing with the dual simmies. Because now dual wielding appears to be... there's no power stancing, it's in the dual weapons now.
Okay.
Which is nice. So each of your weapons has a bit more versatility to it. And I just thought it looked cool, and I liked the red cape, and I thought the sort of headscarf was fun, even though I take it off immediately, because what's the point of having a hat when you can't see your face? I'm going to spend all this time making a face, why would I block it? So I've since removed all hats. And yeah, I had a bit of fun with it. So yeah, I made a dual simmy ginger Scott Wayland mercenary. Named after the word orange in Kurdish. What did you make?
Because you came to me with that. You were like, I've got this fancy name and it's in Kurdish. What did you choose? And I was like, Coffee Jesus. So that was on my Xbox One. And my character, in the tradition of Bradley Bluehair,
right,
who was a blue-haired Bradley Cooper.
He was the one bro,
Dark
wasn't he?
Souls 2 that I did.
He was the one bro, wasn't he?
He might have been.
No, Bradley Cooper was the one bro.
Was he?
Do you remember
from Dark Souls?
Yeah, it was Bradley Cooper and Patrick Stewart, wasn't it?
It was indeed, yeah. so yeah, I made
bald man is Patrick Stewart.
This time, a few changes. I made his hair a bit darker blue, sort of times by him looking a bit hungry, multiplied by looking like he's had a rough paper round, but with this massive Sunbro Covenant sign smack bang on the front of his face.
Of course you have.
Yeah, so that was my Xbox One character.
I saw that tattoo and I thought, he's putting that right on his face, isn't he?
Yeah, he's done both of them. And for the class on that one,
okay,
I picked Depraved.
Oh, some would say that's no class.
Oh, but so the thing was, like,
why did you pick Depraved? I'm intrigued as to why you'd pick Nude Hammerman.
I was looking down them and I was just thinking, well, it's always interesting to see how your character sort of moves and sways with the stuff that you choose anyway. Wasn't keen on most of the outfits, and just thought, well, at least with Naked Lad, I can start from level 1. All the stats are on 10. I'm quite happy with that, which seemed like a good idea at the time. But it all pans out. But we'll talk about that in a bit. So on PS4, remembering your thing, and I couldn't remember which language you chosen for, like, orange.
Right.
So I was looking. I punched in something like, it was something like coffee in, like, Hebrew or something like that. And all it didn't give me, like, what the word was. It just came with like a symbol translation. So as if I was going to go, like, quite Prince with it or something,
like a summon sign almost.
And then I was thinking, like, well, what am I going to do? I could do Coffee Jesus again, but I've roundly mocked myself with the Xbox One version. And I was like, let me think, what could you do? I can music. I'm sure I come up with ideas like this all the time that I never use. And then I was like, okay, I can, because it has to be coffee related.
Yeah.
And I do like to have a coffee. So I came up with has been.
Fucking hell.
So HAZBEAN.
Of course.
So has been.
That's pretty good.
Right. So the character, I made a beautiful boy.
A beautiful boy.
He's got sky blue hair.
Right.
In celebration of Man City battering Paris Saint-Germain last night. I was going to go with grips, but I gave him a bit of a posh lad's beard. Sky blue again.
Right.
Also his eyebrows. I gave him yellow peepers, and then a Sunbro Covenant sign on his left eye, which is in, like, purple, which looks a bit Bishop from X-Men meets David Bowie.
Ooh.
So Has-Been is a coffee-loving Man City X-Men David Bowie.
Nice.
which is just about the best that I can do.
Is that about, like, is it like a little bit
near
near his edge, would you say?
Yeah, it is actually a little bit like that. Yeah.
Nice.
He's a sexy man.
Nice work.
And class choice on this one, I went with Miracles because I'm normally kind of a bit of a Sumro anyway. But when I came through to the main game, I was like, that dress he's wearing's rubbish. So, but you can keep the gloves. So I just had him in because the character comes with marvelous trousers.
So that's the NPC, isn't it?
The gloves were all right.
Marvelous trousers.
Marvelous trousers. I kept the shield on his back, and I'm not quite sure why, but it came with a mace. So essentially, I really wasn't that far off where I was with Depraved, because
a half-naked man with a hitty stick.
Yeah, this time wearing trousers and gloves, which is obviously where class lies. So yeah, that's where I was at the start of the game. So
nice.
the run-throughs. So this playthrough is running through the opening area due to toasting marshmallows with Ian Gundam. What were your first thoughts when you came through to the world?
Okay, well, I knew what the first bit looked like because I'd seen a couple of little videos of literally the first 2 seconds of the game. Yeah, like, you can't avoid them at this point. It's like, oh, there we are, right, okay. The Cemetery of Ash. And I spent like the first 5 minutes just kind of like looking around and kind of wandering about. Not even engaging the enemies at first, like not even the first enemy, just sort of wandering about a little bit and kind of testing the limits of how far I could run and that sort of thing, like experimenting with it. I tried out all the attacks that I could do as well. Like I tried the regular ones and the back steps and the rolls and the L2s and the parries and all that sort of stuff. I was trying them out on nothing, like on empty air, to see what sort of stuff I had. Quite a big fan of the dual wielding scimitar's L1 attacks. It does kind of a series of nice sweeps. And I found a really cool move where you do, I think L2 does like a really aggressive kind of two-handed sweep. And if you press R2 right after it, you follow it up with like a whirlwind attack. I was like, oh, it's pretty rough. Oh, yeah, okay, done. So I kind of played with that on the way through. Moved through, took out the first couple of dudes, kind of taking my time again, getting hit pretty bad because I wasn't really paying attention because I was trying it out. I would argue that I probably died 4-5 times before I made it out of that bit.
Okay, what was holding you back? What kind of struggles did you have?
I wasn't even struggles. I was just trying the limits of what I could do. Like you obviously read all the notes on the floor that tell you the tutorials, and I got to the one that told you how to parry. I was like, okay, well, let's see how parrying is this time. Turns out it's really fucking hard. I tried and I tried and I tried and I tried and I just couldn't nail it at all. And it's kind of bummed me out a little bit because I wanted to be a parry man. And
mind you, I saw Epic Name Bros first vid yesterday, and he was struggling to get into parrying as well.
Yeah, the timing seems different. I don't know if it's off or if it's wrong or if it's out or whatever, but it doesn't seem right. If you know what I mean, like it didn't feel. I wasn't able to feel it out. So I'd walk up and the guy with this little pitiful little knife was like, yeah, I can have you this time. And swing back, and knife coming forwards, and L2, and nothing. And I was like, you know what? Nah. So I just stabbed him like normal after a while and gave up. Yeah, I spent a little while just wandering about that bit, kind of trying out the moves on the dudes and intentionally getting killed and trying it again to see what I could do. Trying to see if I could find any secrets, any kind of cool stuff in the first area. Of which I think I found one. Shall we carry on with this?
Well, yeah, we're covering this opening area, so it's
yeah. So if you are aware, if you are averse to this sort of thing, and you wanna, if you haven't found the secret in the very very first bit, then don't listen now. So there's a summon sign, not a summon sign, a message on the floor to the right hand side if you sort of start going out to the game proper, and it just says in flat terms, turn back. That's all it says. It just says turn back. And I'm like, fuck you. You ain't my dad. I ain't, no.
Do you normally say that to inanimate stuff? Are you one of those people that goes to the automated checkout and be like, please insert your card? Don't talk to me like that. 5p for a plastic bag.
Unexpected item in the bagging area. It's fucking bread. I put it there. Don't you sass me. Oh, at Christmas when they were saying Happy Christmas. Oh my god.
I think
I've never wanted to put my fist through a self-checkout as much as I did that day.
Carry on.
So I saw the sign that said turn back, and I've never been one to turn back when it says turn back. I released Navlan in Dark Souls 2 without a second thought. 15 messages saying don't do it. I'm like, well, I'm doing that. Fuck you. You ain't my dad.
Not my real mum.
Yeah, so I did that, and I carried on, and I saw like a nice like open area with like a nice little coral crystal garden off to one side, which was nice. The garden woke up. Garden ran at me. Garden was a big... I don't know what to describe it as.
It's a kind of crystal frost lizard.
Yeah, a crystal beast with like a salamander, like a big clumpy tail.
My version was better. Crystal frost lizard.
Well...
It also sounds like three people that were playing a prog rock band in the 70s.
Like, its tail's like a bit like... What's that dinosaur that had the club tail? The ankylosaur.
It's very Monster Hunter in the way that it moves, and I like that because it does the thing where it kind of tucks up and rolls, and some of its movement is absolutely beautiful, especially when, and this was the real kicker for me, when you hit it and you hit it again. It kind of flinches, like it's visibly shaken by the I think the second hit.
Stagger and poise appears to be back, which is lovely. Poise, I think poise matters again.
I wasn't the fact that it seemed to be rattled by that second hit. I just thought was a wonderful touch. It was really, really cool.
It took me more to do that, but then I was using my simmies, so maybe I wasn't using quite a big smashy weapon. But I was able to stun it every now and again, but it wasn't as easy for me. I was dealing fast damage to it, but it was still eating me. And I didn't beat it in the end. It stomped me a couple of times, and I thought, you know what, later.
Did you come back later and do it?
Yeah, I went back this afternoon and did it. Smashed him. But yeah, because I found it to be quite cool looking. Like, it's got a weird face. Like, its face is just like a clump of crystals. I can't sort of see a mouth anywhere. It's just like...
It seems like a mutation of the ones that would sort of wiggle away and you try and twat them and then find out you got twinkling titanite.
So like it's one of those, but it's it's eaten a lot of souls and it's leveled up.
I like the kind of frost breath that turns into crystals on the floor and then shatter as well. And it will follow you quite a way, sort of out the area.
Oh yeah,
there was one.
Aggro ranges are bigger this time. I
was like, I think I'm fine.
Aggro ranges are definitely bigger. I tried this out with an enemy, like again, right in the starting area, left one left, saw how far he'd chase me. He chased me a long way. A long way. So basically what Dark Souls is telling you is deal with your problems. Don't run away. Deal with them face to face. So yeah, I gave up on that after a bit and I kind of moved on forwards to the bonfire, which was round a fucking corner. Like from where I was dying over and over and over. Like, oh, it was just here the whole time. Oh. This is something we're going to hear a lot as we progress through this series, is all the bonfires that I walked past.
What, you walked past the bonfire before that? Oh no, because you go on a little bit and then it's up a...
It goes up a little slope
road,
and you get that lovely kind of, that sort of sprawling vista, and you head up and then there's your first bonfire at the top, which I very nearly missed. Like, I walked by, oh.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. What about you? How did you get on with the early areas on your two builds?
First one, because obviously I was going depraved on the first one, and even though I didn't click with Bloodborne, I was very sort of bouncy Bloodborne. Plus, the depraved comes with the club, and the club now comes with the Dark Souls 1 Bunny Smash.
Yeah, boy.
On R2. So there's a little bit of a delay before he leaps into it, which looks good, but it takes a little bit of getting used to. But it's a weapon I am used to, so I felt sort of quite at home with that.
Is it still brilliant?
Yeah, it is still brilliant. And that's one of the reasons why I went with Depraved as well, because that weapon was a belter from Dark Souls and wasn't as good in Dark Souls 2. So yeah, I got on fairly well with sort of dodging the lads and twatting them, and found my way around, found the fire bombs. Had a go at the crystal frost lizard, and got battered. So again, came back later, but thought it was. I think Epic Namebro said this as well. It was very, very Demon Souls feel to an opening level with the palette, a bit Shrine of Storms, which obviously ties into my Ray Harryhausen adorations. It just felt nice. I was really, really taken with it. So
yeah, cool.
And obviously, like coming back to it with the second character afterwards, I'd found my feel with the game, so I knew I'd already tested out the enemies at that point. So it was really like a 1 minute run through.
Yeah.
From there, it was like
twat,
twat, twat, twat, twat, twat, boss.
So what did you think of like the second half of the level before you get to Big Lad after the bonfire? Did you find all the little sort of hidden secrets and things there? There's a few bits.
And there's a few bits to pick up. There's a few ledges to drop off as well, not just the main one.
Did you do the jump?
About third time it took.
Yeah,
me
me too. I was going to say,
time.
my next question was how many tries would it take you?
Yeah, it took me a little while to bugger, and then going back around like you were on a slide or something.
Did you hang too far left every time? Because that's what I did.
No.
I just jumped to the left of it every time. Like, oh piss. Oh.
Yeah, it might have been. I think it was getting used to the jump, really. But
like I found like the vistas look amazing in this. Like this is the first time you're really outside them. You get out sort of past the initial cave or valley, should we say? Like the draw distances and like the vistas, I think they're as nice as they've ever been, aren't they?
We are missing out on possibly the best thing about the game, and that's the noise that a flaming crossbow bolt makes as it flies towards you. I love it. I love it so much. If it was cereal, I'd be like, it's like that kind of like,
yeah.
As it comes to it, it's just because the sound seems like a big thing here as well.
Oh,
I mean,
mate, like so
obviously,
much more.
like
yeah,
the breathing that's there and the atmosphere. It reminds me again of Demons, where you'd really have to attune to the sound.
I find that I'm listening when I'm playing, and this actually applies much further on as well. I'm going through a level, and I'm like, I've got my headphones on, I put the volume up a little bit, and I'm listening because you will hear a thing before you see a thing every single time. Like you hear them breathe, and that is like Demon Souls as fuck, mate.
Yeah, Dark Souls had that as well, and again, it was the breathing was taken away from Dark Souls 2. So which was a bit of a shame because that level of kind of around the corner was always like a
because they always sound a bit bronchitis-y as well, don't they? Like
they do. Yeah, that's what being undead does to you, or breathing in too much ash.
That's the thing. It's all ash this time, isn't it?
So when you got to Ian Gundam, as we're calling him, Ewan Gundyr, which is what were your thoughts? Had you seen any of that previously? Or
I knew for a fact that was going to be a boss because just look at the fucking area. Like it's very obvious. Hey, look here, boss, yo. There's a big closed door over there and a thing in the middle of a big round area. Get ready for boss. I think I'd seen him before. I recognised him. I think I'd seen a shot or two, maybe. I'd never seen it in action, but I'm sure I'd seen a shot, maybe in one of the trailers or something. So I recognised him. Initially, I kind of walked all the way around the outside of the area. I thought if I walked in the water, it would maybe activate him. Perhaps. So I kind of just wandered around the outside of the area, picking up the couple of items on the floor before I did anything. And I even tried the door. I knew it was futile, but I thought, let's see if the door opens. Nope, the floor doesn't open. Fuck. And I like the way that the boss fight starts. Like it doesn't start until you do a thing. You have to shove a sword out or in, isn't it? What is it? Do you take it out of him or put it in?
Yeah, you take it out.
Yeah, like a twisty sword that's not a real sword. It's a bonfire sword, which I thought was a nice touch.
Yeah, it's just...
But like, it's like one of those. It's the classic kind of suit of armor in a hallway. It's like this is waking up any second now. Prepare yourself. Like it doesn't have the like that doesn't scare me anymore. Seeing a suit of armor because I know it's going to get up.
It's got that kind of wiggly licorice on the back of it as well, which is like a ooh.
What are you, wiggly licorice? We'll get to that later. Yeah. So you pull it out and he gets up and he's a tough man. What did you think?
Describe your fight with him.
Okay, which one? Because it took me about 4 or 5 goes.
Okay.
I don't know if it's because simmies are not a great weapon for this guy. They don't smash very hard.
Okay.
They're piercing as opposed to like blunt. I don't know if that matters so much on the first boss, but I don't know. I didn't feel like I was doing a hell of a lot of damage to him. Like he's definitely not a pushover.
I know. I heard somebody say that they felt that Pyromancer was easy mode on this, and I could kind of see why. If you've got fireballs at your disposal, at least you're a little further through. Mind you, I know you are given firebombs before you get to the arena.
You get a few.
But that's that is really leaning heavily into you not stuffing up.
And they do also run out, so if you can't use them on all your runs, you'll run out of them eventually. Which I did.
I still think that if you get him to phase 2, that you can probably finish him off with fireballs or firebombs rather.
Let me confirm that. Yes, they do a lot more damage on phase 2.
Yeah.
So when you've worn him down a bit, and he's not a pushover at all, is he? He's a strong man, and he stays on you pretty tight. Like he was up my ass the whole fight. Like I was fighting defensively the whole time. Blocking and rolling, and I tried to parry, and I really shouldn't have tried to parry because that was a mistake. But I was ducking and rolling and trying to get to the second stage without using an Estus. And I had to run down to him pretty quick as well. I could get down to him in a few seconds, like boom, 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 like you were saying, twat, 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 boss. I found that like if I get to the second bit with all my Estus, I was probably okay. I think I had one cock up on the second run where he caught me in a bit of a trap. But so let's talk about how the second bit starts then. So you're fighting him, and you're fighting him pretty well, and you're doing a good job, and you're cutting him down to size a little bit. You're like, yeah, eat it, Judex Gundir, which is a cool name, really. Let's be fair, Judex Gundir. It sounds like a robot. And then the thing happens. How would you describe it?
I'd probably describe it better in the level that follows this, but it's almost like he gets a sock puppet. Because there is a bit in the level after this where the creature will start coming towards you, and you're on a level above, and there's almost this degree of kind of the sock puppet bit goes left and right. It's almost as if like hey there, Piggy, welcome to the Muppet Show, yeah! He kind of goes back from side to side and does a curve it, and it was making me giggle.
Nice.
But there was, in this instance particularly, there weren't many giggles. It was just more...
I would say it was like a big snaky T-Rex faced oil monster.
Also with a kind of bony hand.
And still with Judex Gundir underneath with his spear still. Like it doesn't go away. He can still hit you with the spear, as I found out. But like, I don't know about you, that second half of that fight, that's intense. Like that does not fuck about, because like it was giving me some aggro. Like that thing was not giving me any space to kind of breathe. By the time I'd rolled away a couple of times and blocked up, I had no stamina left, so I couldn't do anything. I had to kind of back off and regain my stamina. But like, I found it really, really like hard opening fight. Like manageable, sure, but like not a pushover. Like in the way that, say, the Asylum Demon in Dark Souls 1 is, and it just stand behind him and stab his bum. Like you can't do that here. He will turn around and smash you. Like the enemies, like they know when you go behind them, and they've got moves for it now. Much in the same way. Remember the Turtle Knight that fell over backwards? It did that to me. I got around behind it, and it just kind of swung its elbow back around and cracked me in the head. Like, oh, he knows. Fuck. But yeah, like I found it to be a hard fight, and I thought the firebombs did really well. But then I kind of used them, and then took a couple of unlucky swings and died, and had to do it like legit the next time, if you know what I mean.
The lads beforehand will drop firebombs.
They will
again,
but not on this run that I did.
Okay.
Yeah. But like it took some go, but I got him, and I felt better for it. Like as far as first bosses go, I don't know. I feel like it's probably the most challenging one they've had for a while.
Because I know a few folks seem to have kind of done him first time, and maybe they were running pyromancy. I don't know, but
yeah, like for me anyway, like it was probably the most challenged I've been by a first boss in a Souls game for ever. I mean, I know. I mean, I'm on the PS4 character that I ran through today, which is obviously my second run through of it. I knew what I was doing, so it was neither here nor there. That first time, I'm going into a fight naked with a club, and this, considering that my normal fighting style in say Demons and Dark Souls particularly was to have a massive shield
and my option for a shield was essentially a bit of fence or a cat flap.
It was, wasn't it? Yeah, I saw the weapon for that. It was just a twisted off bit of fence panel.
So this is me going into a battle. I'm not great at boss battles anyway, but this is me going into a boss battle, essentially two-handing a stick and trying to get the timing down and trying to perform at a level that I maybe performed in Demon Souls, or that seemed to be what was coming together. And considering the enemies that you get before you get to the boss are maybe giving about 26 souls out or something like that.
Yeah.
When I finally beat this boss, I think I got about 8 or 9k.
Whoa.
So, but it wasn't a case of putting the pad down and thinking like, oh bollocks, I'll do something else. There was this real feeling of I can do this, I can do this, I can do it. And I was trying to lure him into, because he's got a number of attacks. He's got that swinging attack, he's got the one that smashes straight down, and then he's got the one that he jumps into. And it was the one that he was jumping into that I'd run towards him and then roll and then try and get 2 hits in with the club and then fuck off backwards as far as I could so he couldn't get me and I could maybe draw that next attack out. When his second phase kicks in, his timing is different when he jumps because he's got that kind of slight roll forward and then it hits the bony hand and he throws himself forward, and if you use the same timing as you did in the first stage, he lands on you and he catches you out. I think you can see like the main mass coming, but Gundy is sort of underneath and is still ready to sort of to smash down. So that was getting that extra timing in there. Took a little bit of getting used to, and then there was a certain point where it's like, fuck, I think you can finish him with firebombs. And that was the point where I think I got twatted and I was down to like, I clicked beyond my Estus to go to firebombs, and then I had to try and get out the way and click back to Estus to get up, and then I don't even think I threw the firebombs in the end. I think I just jumped in and twatted him and then finished him off.
Nice.
But it was my best performance against a boss in these games in forever. And I was rather than kind of getting a little bit panicky, I was really getting into the rhythm of it, and I got the timing down of the way that my character moved and the way that my character jumped, and I wasn't missing a shield at all. And I've seen shield fights with this boss now, and I'm glad that I did it the way that I did, because it brought a part out of me that I'd not felt had been accessed probably since Demon Souls.
Okay.
And I relaxed into it. I enjoyed it. It was wonderful, kind of reading the jumps and reading the timings and
learning the boss, wasn't it? I mean, like it's the first boss as well. Like you can't be overpowered at this point, even. Like, there's no way of leveling up yet. Like, you can't be overpowered. You are what you are. Like, this is a test of your character before you go in, as opposed to, like, later bosses in games like this where you can just, power, and trolley him. Like, without any summons as well. Like, it's you and him, and you're learning him.
I think it reminded me a little bit of Demon Souls in the way that Demon Souls bosses, rather than seeming like Bloodborne a lot of the time, felt like a tornado was being thrown at me. And I felt like I had difficulty feeling like I was getting the rhythms of the boss rather than just having just something thrashing and thrown at me. Whereas this felt like demons in the way that the bosses there maybe weren't as much as a challenge as they were a spectacle. They were something to like, oh wow, and to get really lost in, and something that maybe seemed a little bit achievable, but you were lost in the majesty and the atmosphere and that sort of stuff. So yeah, I think it's a fantastic opening boss, not just because of the way it plays, but also the way that it leads into the moments that happen afterwards. It's a wonderful kind of piece of drama beforehand, during, and then afterwards, and the mysterious place that it takes you from there.
Exactly. Nice. Also, he's quite strong, isn't he? So
I loved it. A great piece of design as well. I think it looks wonderful.
And the whole act of pulling the sword out of him was kind of like, yep, it's kind of fun.
To detail the different versions as well, because obviously I've played both of them now.
Does one of them have more Ps?
It certainly does.
Okay, cool.
The PS4 is the prettier of the two. The extra resolution brings more detail. There were certain points, particularly on the level beyond this, where things were darker and I could see into the darkness a little bit more. Maybe I need to alter the gamma on the Xbox One version a little bit, but it's crisper, certainly. The Xbox One version, in comparison, has got like a really nice painterly look, which still looks great. They do look very different from one another, I must admit. Okay. But both run well. Fuck you, Digital Foundry.
So I'm going to ask you a question before we move on any further.
Okay.
Something that I've noticed while I've been playing, and it's been playing on my mind a little bit. Do you miss life gems?
God, I relied on life gems so much, and yeah, I suppose it's brought a little more jeopardy back to the Estus flask.
Yeah, a lot more times I've been doing a run, and this again further in the game still. Like, well, this run's fucked. Then I'm not going for the boss in this state, am I? I've got one Estus left.
I think after this, and we'll touch on this in further levels, that life gems almost kind of come into it. There is an aspect of life gems that...
What?
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah. We'll talk about this in the next episode.
Okay, we'll talk later, because okay.
So yeah, that's this
draw a line
opening
there.
chat for Dark Souls 3. So if you're new to us, I hope you liked it. It's a bit of a ramble. We'll normally bring somebody in to chat with us, which makes us look like better people than we are. But we thought we'd just have a natter,
a little chat
between us. But I do have an interesting thing to close with, which I think you'll kind of like.
Me or the listeners, or both?
Both, because I found this out and I was like, no. Okay.
All right. Okay.
You are a big fan of the comic Preacher, are you not?
I like it a lot. It's really good. It's a good comic.
In the television version of Preacher, which is coming up, which looks really good.
It does.
Tulip is played by a lady called Ruth Neggar.
Yes.
Ruth Neggar was in Misfits not long ago. She was in World War Z, which I watched at the weekend. I believe she's recently been in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And she's now playing Tulip in Preacher. Yeah.
Okay.
Ruth Neggar is the Emerald Herald.
What?
Yep.
What?
Yep.
The lilting Irish flower?
Yep.
Nah, mate.
Yep.
You're lying to me.
I'm not. I genuinely wouldn't lie to you.
You would lie to me all the time.
Yeah, but about things that are funny. But this
Really?
is entirely true. So
Wow.
yeah, the lady that is playing Tulip in the Preacher TV show is the Emerald Herald from Dark Souls 2. How cool is that?
Mind blown.
So please join us next time when we will probably have other people with us and we'll be talking about the level after this one. Not the thing after this one.
We're going to come back to that thing.
Not the thing.
We're gonna take a running jump over that.
We're going to hopscotch.
Yeah, we're gonna do a triple jump and land in the sand that is the next level.
No. Going to do a triple jump over the wall.
Oh.
Goodbye, listeners.
Goodbye, friends. Thank you for listening. See you later.